How to move on from a breakup. Put your relationship in the past and feel ready to move on. As much as we'd all like one, there is no rulebook on how to get over a breakup. After a relationship ends, people, unsurprisingly, often report feeling loneliness, a loss of a sense of self, distress, and depression. In fact, many experts have equated having a broken heart to a form of grief. In other words, if you're struggling to move on from a breakup, you are far from alone. A breakup is a classic example of what we call an ambiguous loss, which is where the grief of the loss of a relationship is often complicated by a lack of closure. This can prolong the healing process and leave us feeling unresolved. And after a breakup, we are often mourning not just the loss of a romantic partner, but also the dreams and expectations we had for our futures. It's a layered heartbreak that is tricky to navigate. And though there is no quick fix for how to get over with someone, there are things you can do to help you through your own healing process. 1. Think about your breakup as a physical injury. Try to give yourself the same grace when healing from having your heart broken that you would if you were experiencing a medical issue. You may not be operating at 100%, and that's okay, noting that you wouldn't beat yourself up for not going to the gym after, say, breaking your leg. Extend yourself the same kindness for going through an emotional injury. 2. Give yourself permission to feel your feelings. Set a timer and give yourself 10 to 20 minutes to feel whatever you are feeling without judgment. Write out any thoughts about the breakup in a letter that you will never give your ex, or just speak your thoughts out loud. When that timer goes off, ask yourself, what do I need now? Do I need to speak with someone that loves me? Do I need to do something physical? Do I need to take a shower, eat, have self-pleasure, or watch a movie? What will be nurturing in this very moment that will also feel good after? You can repeat this as needed. 3. Reconnect with things that make you happy. Dusting off old hobbies you may have stopped doing while busy in your relationship. We naturally shift away from various activities while dating, and it can be empowering to get back to them. 4. Surround yourself with good support, and lots of it. Naturally, your inclination may be to lean on your friends for support during and after a breakup. Try not to let embarrassment or anxiety hold you back from doing just that. If you're worried about burdening or annoying your networks, it can be helpful to rotate whom you're talking to. Depending on the specifics of your situation, like if the breakup was expected and if you've been keeping up with your friends a normal amount during your relationship, they may not be surprised to hear the news. Hopefully, they'll spring into action and help you feel better in the specific ways that only people who really know you can. 5. Apologize to your support system if you need to. I know I stopped prioritizing our friendship while I was in my relationship, and I really regret that. I'd love a chance to reconnect with you if you're open to it. 6. Consider finding a therapist if you need to. Having an unbiased, neutral, third-party observer is instrumental in gaining a deeper understanding of what happened, what your role was, and how you can learn and grow from it as you pursue future relationships. This is extra important if your mental health has been heavily impacted by your breakup. This is for anyone who is experiencing a significant decline in functioning, not eating or sleeping, missing or struggling at work, major changes in mood or personality, or having intrusive or suicidal thoughts. 7. Do your best to be patient, even though it's hard. How long does it take to get over a breakup? There's no one answer, so try to be patient. Yes, it's so much easier said than done. The pain won't go away overnight and recovery is a process. There will be days you feel better and days you feel worse. Your thoughts and emotions may jump around in the stages of grief for a while. Healing time will depend on the meaning of the relationship held, as well as the length of the relationship. Especially if you experienced any firsts with this person, like the first partner you lived with, it can be really challenging to move on. 8. Seek distance from the relationship. We have to begin the process of separating ourselves from the person to be able to heal. This can be very difficult due to the intertwined nature of relationships. A good start to this is to reduce communication to only what is necessary, keep the conversation limited to specific things like getting your stuff back, then end the discussion. There isn't a one-size-fits-all recommendation for things like whether or not to delete an ex's number or block them on social media. That will really depend on the specifics of your situation. Be mindful of how keeping the option of contacting them open is affecting you. Thinking back to the analogy of a breakup is a wound, after tending to the cut, the next step would be to leave it alone. Every time you contact your ex, you're essentially picking off your scab. Picking scabs leads to infections and scarring, and the same happens to our emotional healing. 9. Consider appointing an intermediary if needed. Exceptions for limiting contact need to be made, of course, especially in situations where you are currently living together or perhaps sharing a pet or even co-parenting. In these cases, it can be helpful to ask a trusted friend or family member to be your proxy for arranging logistics temporarily so you can get some distance. 10. Put away as many painful reminders of your ex as you can. The healthiest coping mechanism is getting rid of everything associated with this person, but that doesn't necessarily mean trashing everything. Maintaining the option for communication or even saving old texts or phone calls keeps hope that you will possibly get back together. It could also hinder the ability to move on with your life without this person in it. 11. If you do save mementos, do it smartly. If you don't want to throw out all the memories associated with your ex, put them in a box and keep them out of your eyesight until emotions have died down and you can make a less impulsive decision about what to do with your keepsakes. 12. Try dating yourself. Yes, seriously. In case you're tempted to roll your eyes at this one, know that it really can be helpful. Act as if you're in a relationship with yourself. Take yourself on dates, and cook yourself exciting meals. Treat yourself like you are the best partner in the world. Because you are your own best partner. 13. Don't keep tabs on your ex. You don't need to know about what they're up to, so don't fall into the trap of lurking on their social media or having mutual friends keep you updated. Knowing what they're up to will not help you move on. If you find yourself obsessively checking their social media, it would benefit you to either unfriend, block, or hide them, as is an option on some apps. Again, this is a time you may need to enlist the help of a friend who can take these steps for you if it's too much to do them on your own. 14. Take a break from dating if you're not ready. Being single again might seem scary, but you don't have to force anything. Jumping into something too soon can backfire when you have not yet fully processed your breakup. This can lead to additional stress and regret that will further complicate the healing process. 15. And periodically check in with yourself to see if you are ready. How do you know when it's time to date again? When you consistently feel more positive emotions than negative ones, such as you often find yourself laughing and feeling more like yourself. Another good sign can be if you consistently think of your relationship without a strong emotional response, such as anger or sadness. But that won't necessarily be true for everyone. You may be able to still find a special connection or just have a great time dating even when processing anger or sadness about your ex. Ultimately, though, dating will feel best if you're looking to genuinely enhance your life, not just fill a void of loneliness. 16. Don't engage in revenge posting. You know the posts, where you're curating your social media with the intention of posting things your ex will see, or hear about through mutual friends, in order to elicit jealousy, show them how great you're doing, or just generally behave with them in mind. This causes you to still prioritize them and allows them to take up significant real estate in your mind. There's nothing inherently wrong with these kinds of posts, but if you'll be disappointed if your ex doesn't watch your story or text you after a particularly great post on your feed, that's a sign to proceed with caution. 17. Consider volunteering. Volunteering really can be a double whammy of goodness. In addition to, ideally helping to make the world a better place in some way, research shows that volunteering can help boost your own emotional well-being. 18. Focus on creating new memories. After a breakup, it can be hard to go to your local coffee shop, listen to your favorite artist, or take your dog for a walk without your former partner if those are the things you used to do to bond. But use this opportunity to create new memories of your own that aren't tied to your ex. 19. Don't wait for closure before letting yourself move on. Having a mentality of "I'll be over it when X, Y, or Z happens" is a surefire way to continue pushing off your healing. You may never get the apology or explanation you're seeking, so your healing cannot be dependent on that. It is inevitable that there will be things that will remind you of your ex periodically as the months pass by. This is perfectly normal and indicative of why there is no perfect form of closure, even after leaving a good relationship. As some always say, there's always a rainbow after the rain. So no matter how hard moving on can be, just be yourself. Be you.